Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Sri Ramakrishna was telling, he has gone to see Shashadhar only because he is working for others. He is so happy God to go and meet a person in this world as an incarnation of God. You can imagine the worth of that person. Means he has dedicated his life entirely for the welfare of others. Mine is eliminated totally. I want everyone to be happy, everyone to be released from the samsara. How we usually see anybody in this world weeps for himself first, for his family. It doesn't extend beyond. Anything he wants for himself. Maximum it extends to family, even realization. The realization, I want realization. Maximum my family, God must realize. The third realization, here is a person, Shashadhar Pandit, whom Sri Ramakrishna has gone to see just because he has forgotten himself. In seeking the welfare of, he is running about, giving, use this, you go to the, you will realize God, you transcend the nature. His ideas are so clear and so understandable and so much of faith and trust. Yesterday I was telling, we make ourselves complicated and God complicated, that it becomes very difficult for us to realize God. The simple person immediately develops trust. He doesn't see the next thing. Simple person, trust, faith in God, trust in one who is teaching. That's all. He goes in the path shown, reaches, achieves. Man with complicated mind. God is this, God is that, philosophy, this, that, bringing into picture, making God is Saulabhya Paripurna. He is Sulabha. Provided you are Sulabha. Simple alone can understand simple. Complicated cannot understand. He goes round and round doing this and that. Ultimately, he doesn't. This simple develops that and realizes, whereas this, we make ourselves complicated, God complicated, and then path complicated. There appears all things. Thakur uses the term golmal, shop golmal. All has become mixed up, and clear understanding of reality and understanding is not shining forth. So this features is what is seen. Master continued, ending of the last class I am reading. When I heard about you, I inquired whether you were merely erudite or whether you had discrimination and renunciation. Viveka Vairagya. If Viveka Vairagya is not there, then he is not a Pandit. A Pandit who does not know how to discriminate between real and unreal is no Pandit. In those days, I have told many times, perhaps in 1970s, I joined 1977 Ramakrishna Math Mission in Bangalore. In the afternoons, the brahmacharis are not supposed to sleep. Brahmachari divana swapeta. And nights they have to do japa till they get sleep. And as soon as they wake up, the day must begin. You must wake up with the japa in mouth. By sleeping, till he gets sleep, he will be doing japa and sleeping. That waking up, it continues. As if the whole night has gone in doing japa. So in the afternoons, one Pandit used to come, lest they will, the trend is to go and lie down. Because all animals, all birds and whatever animal life is there, in the afternoon they rest. Morning they will run about, grazing and searching for food. Then when it is afternoon, after midday, 12 o'clock here in India, midday, after that, slowly within an hour, all take rest for about an hour. All cows and all will sit under a tree in the shadow and go on chewing the cud. The birds and all come back and sit in some shade in the trees, and by 3 o'clock they all start. Now it's sun is setting down, coming down. 2-3 hours it has. Now immediately they start going and picking up. When it's dusk, they go off. The tendency is there in human also to take rest in the afternoons. And this we see, a Pandit used to come to teach us. He was a retired school teacher in Sanskrit. He was a Pandit who Bhagavad Gita and all these things, scriptures, Upanishads and all he knew nicely. He could explain. And what a brahmachari who has renounced the world for God, how he has to live, and all this he has to tell. What is sannyasa, how we go through that path, what is pravritti marga, nivritti marga, how to attain God, and how you explain. Then last he will be morose in himself. He will tell, I know all this. I know all the scriptures, whole Hindu scriptures, anything, there is nothing I don't know. But you don't know anything. Not even a shloka of Bhagavad Gita you know. Nothing you know. But I could not do what you have done, renouncing for God. With all my knowledge, I could not renounce. You don't know, but you are renounced. You are far, far above me. Just in this respect, practicalizing the theory. I know the theory. It is like knowing the swimming theoretically. When we get down into the water, we get drowned. I know what is God theoretically. But when the shocks of life come, we will not be able to bear. He used to tell. And he was just waiting for his daughter to get married. He was already 65. 3 years later, he got the daughter married. On that very day, he renounced the world and took up sannyasa. Just that, how that the Viveka Vairagya is the fruit of the scriptural studies at last. Love, 3 things: universal love, love for all beings, and my family, my property will go away. Expand to the cosmic level. Whole universe is mine. Vishwa Kutumba. Whole Vaishvika Bhavana. And how much expansion of heart and soul that feels oneness with the... Actually, sannyasa is not renouncing a family or anything, this world. It is expanding the family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is mine. It is my family. That expansion is sannyasa. Expansion of consciousness, that is the chitta, mind is expanded, awareness, consciousness is expanded, and then the heart is expanded to cosmic level. Your heart expands to be one with all beings. This is sannyasa. You love as and dedicate and feel concerned about all entire humanity wherever you are as my own is sannyasa. These people are mine, my family, my wife, child, and this one, my husband. Only this much is that little-minded grahasthas feel, but at least as much expansion as possible. If not the whole world, can you feel oneness with the neighbors? That as you feel for children and family, can you feel for others around? It expands to the village, to the country, to the global level, at all levels of existence, all planes of existence. This expansion is sannyasa. So he could feel the scripture was expanding his mind, but duties and responsibilities was binding him. He used to feel, I know everything, but I could not renounce, I could not. But one day came, he renounced and went away. When the responsibilities are over, so that is not if a Pandit is without discrimination and renunciation, then he is no Pandit at all. There is no harm. In case of householders, they internalize. In case of this traditional sannyasa, they keep internal and external. There is no harm in teaching others if the preacher has a commission from the Lord. Go and preach. When they say, people get transformed. When he gets the permission from God, when God makes them feel that Thakur says, God directly comes and instructs, go and preach. Like Narendra, he writes, Narendra, Vinayakananda, he says, Naren will teach others. He writes and gives. Nobody can confound a preacher who teaches people after having received the command from God. Getting a ray of light from the goddess of learning, a man becomes so powerful that before him big scholars seem mere earthworms. Here we see the Saraswati's grace. What is this Saraswati? Getting a ray of light from the goddess of learning. Goddess of learning is Saraswati. That's why the Mahavakyas, the ultimate realization, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Ayamatma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. The four Mahavakyas are the light that a man gets, that illumination, that learning, goddess of learning, and which is going to effect as the knowledge, the supreme knowledge. One is, I am that absolute existence, that is, I am getting rid of bodily existence. How it, Aham Brahmasmi. And a realized soul, wherever, in whatever state, he is Brahman. Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. Then every jiva, Ayamatma Brahma. All these lives that you see on this earth, they are all Brahman. Independent of bodily existence, if you see, bodily existence is just an outermost cover. The coat is inside, other banyan is there. Over that, the shirt is there. The final coat is this body. So many layers are within. Beyond that is the self. So Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, so many quotes we are wearing. To know myself independent of this quote, people, is Brahman. Now, this, the last, another understanding, a beautiful understanding dawns, the realization, the goddess of learning, a ray of light, a ray of light illumines the soul, and he sees the whole universe in which he was born, he was brought up, he spent many lives. All this whole world is Brahman and nothing else. It's appearing as universe as long as you are wearing this shirt. So this is Sarvam Kalvitam Brahma. Whatever you can think of, whatever you see, whatever you understand, whatever you feel, whatever your mind can conceive, whatever your senses can depict, all these things are Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Oh, all this verily is God. So that understanding, a goddess of learning, what we expect from goddess of learning, Saraswati, is just a ray of light that gives me supreme knowledge to see Brahman everywhere. Sarvabhute Brahma Darshana. Jagadidi, this world as the Brahman, and beyond the Absolute is Brahman. When the lamp is lighted, the moths come in swarms. They don't have to be invited. In the same way, the preacher who has command from God need not invite people to hear him. He does not have to announce the time of his lecture. He possesses the irresistible attraction that the people come out to him of their own accord. People of all classes, even the kings and aristocrats, gather around him. We can see how Vivekananda fared, how he moved, how he went, how he attained, all shining forth. A beautiful thing in his life. Wherever he goes, his doors are open. Small problems everyone has to face. He faced many problems also, but the doors were open everywhere. Many hurdles he had to cross, but he succeeded in everything because he was ordained to teach the world. A new awareness of spiritual understanding, the understanding of divinity, came to the worlds. In front of it, he has placed a huge light, which alone can give peace to this world. Now, that is the most urgent thing in this world, social emergency, that we must have the one world of mutual love, peace and harmony. That is what the intention of Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda and Sharda Devi. We all must come together. There must be one world of love, peace. Let the differences remain. Let many more religions remain. Let many more professions open up. Let many more divisions of the country and nation be there. Doesn't matter. Let everything be in harmony. So many parts in vehicles, but the whole vehicle is one. So many parts in engine. No part can be displaced. Each has its own feature and action to do, but they are all in perfect harmony. That engine works. Like that, like our body. It's a body. They say to him, "Revered sir, what can we offer to you? Here are mango, sweets, money, shawls, and other things. What will you be pleased to accept?" In that case, I say to them, "Go away. I don't care for these. I don't want anything." Does the magnet say to the iron, "Come near me"? That's not necessary. Because of the attraction of magnet, iron rushes to it. A needle is there, a magnet is there. How it pulls it, attracts it. Such a preacher may not be a scholarly person, but don't conclude from that he has any lack of wisdom. Knowledge, wisdom. All experiences give us knowledge. Every experience gives us knowledge. Knowledge has to be converted into wisdom. Knowledge can be used, misused, but wisdom is such a thing which makes your life smoothly move and on the process of evolution. You evolve to your divinehood. The evolving to divinehood, evolving to animalhood. What a difference it makes. I can become an animal. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Ahankara, Raga, Dvesha, all this I can possess. You should be driving me. So I can get involved, I can evolve to divinehood. Eternal peace, eternal joy, eternal freedom from nature. Anyway, I can. The process of evolution, the process of involution. So this Sri Ramakrishna is telling, such a preacher need not be scholarly, that knowledge he has, but wisdom is not there. Scholar, but don't conclude from that. If a person is there who is uneducated or he doesn't know, conclude from that he has any lack of wisdom. He may not be educated person, but he may be having wisdom. How does wisdom manifest? As pure love, universal love, which doesn't differentiate. As knowledge, viveka, as readiness to run and serve. All these are manifestations of that wisdom. Does book learning make one wise? Ramakrishna is asking this question. He who has a commission from God never runs after short wisdom, runs short of wisdom. He doesn't lack any moment. As it is needed, it is being supplied from behind. That wisdom comes from God. It is inexhaustible. The love, concern for people, the wisdom for the individual, they come from God. If you see somebody is loving me, irrespective of whatever I am, then it is God's love. Through someone, the God's love is reaching me. The wisdom comes from God and it is inexhaustible. At Kamarpukur, I have seen people measuring grain. For selling or giving away, they measure or storing how much is there. So means measuring, because the measure has to be large and long, the huge products, there will be lot of material, and people are standing in queue to buy and go, something like that. At Kamarpukur, I have seen people measuring grain. It lies in heap. One man pushes the grain from the heap towards another man who weighs it on scales. So the man who weighs does not run short of grain. He is measuring and giving to people or sending for storage. Somebody is pushing from back and is measuring it. The measuring person will not find the shortage of grains. It is the same with the preacher who has received a commission from God. As he teaches people, the Divine Mother herself supplies him with the fresh knowledge from behind. That knowledge never comes to an end. Can a preacher ever lack knowledge if but once he had favored with a benign glance from the Divine Mother? Therefore, I ask you whether you have received the commission from God. Can a preacher ever lack knowledge if but once he is favored with the benign grace of the Divine Mother? Kripa Kataksha. If he has got Kripa Kataksha of Divine Mother, where is the lack of knowledge? Saraswati is on his tongue. A benign glance, Kataksha, from Divine Mother. Therefore, I ask you whether you have received the commission from God. You don't lack knowledge. If anybody asking any question, anytime, you have the answer. Not from your brain, but it is from the heart that is being forwarded, bring forth by the Divine. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.